Hey everyone, welcome back. My name is Sadie and you have found my Flosstube. It has been probably a little over 3 weeks. It's longer than my usual. Came from Florida, so nice to be with the new nephew and with my brother and parents. My boyfriend also came down, so we just made a good trip out of it. And then work is always busy and I just felt like stitching and couldn't find time to do a video. So now is when we're doing it. Hope you guys are doing good. We just had some snow overnight, but the roads are actually pretty good today. So hopefully you guys have gotten through whatever crazy winter frost just happened a couple weeks ago. I think this video will be a long one. At least there's a lot that I've got. I had to write it all down. And we've definitely got 2 finishes to talk about. We have 2, 4, 6, 7 whips and 2 starts. So a lot of projects I get to show you guys. All right. And you guys know I like to just get into the exciting stuff. And if you see me looking down at my book, it's because I had to keep myself organized. So the first one, which is one of the finishes, I will show a picture here because it is already at its respective home, but it was Counting Puddles Moon and Stars baby sampler, and it was for my nephew, and it turned out so nice. I had to finish it down there. Like, I worked as hard as I could and as fast as I could, but I just couldn't finish it by the time I got down to Florida. So they knew that I was working on it, and finally, after a few days, I got it done. It is still in the finished phase. It is not fully finished. I don't know if they will frame it themselves, but likely when I go back down. I don't know when, but whenever I do, if they still haven't framed it, then I will try to go to like Home Goods or Michael's and find a really cute, I feel like a hair's there, find a really cute frame and then be able to frame it up for them. But it turned out so nice. The moon was super cute. All that I really had to do was that white of the cloud. It was fill in, which was really nice because I got to just work on that and like watch a TV show or just chat with my brother's girlfriend and look after the baby like more than once, right, for us to help out. It was so that way like she can go take a shower or that she can go organize some stuff, like just kind of do her own thing for a few minutes. And I'm like, I can totally watch this kiddo and do fill in. It is fine. So it was really nice to just be there and help her out too. That is finish number 1. And then finish number 2 was officially all the back stitching on Sailor Mars. And I am so happy that it is done. Because you guys have heard how much time it's been taking me to get the back stitching. And I brought it with me. Like I brought a couple of project bags that have a few projects in them. And this one struck the mood when I was down there as well after I finished the baby sampler. And I just got to town with it. So without further ado, here is Sailor Mars. And ooh, this is going to be nice because I actually get to stand and get up close with you guys. So I'm going to slowly go up. And it's so nice to see Mercury and Mars together. Mars is the one in the red. Excuse me. What I got to really work on was finishing her belt with all the little curlicues. And then I got to finish the bottom part of her skirt and put in the curlicues on her stockings. So nice, so excited. Ultimately, if you guys haven't seen this before, it is going to be a multi-year project because it's going to be all 10 sailors on this piece of fabric. The next one that is going to come in is going to be Venus, and she's going to be right there next to Mars. After I finished this one, I took it and I gently washed it. I washed it with some warm, I wouldn't say warm water, kind of like tepid water, lukewarm with some dish soap. And I took like a Pyrex, and so I just put it in there so I can just gently like wash it, kind of gently wring it, dump the water out, put some new one, dish soap, gently wash it again. And then after that second dish soap wash. Then I just ran some water through and just gently let it clean through until there weren't any suds on it, and I let it line dry. And after I line dried it, then I ironed it. Because when I looked at it during backstitching, I went, ooh, this is a little not as white as when I first got the fabric a few years ago. So I'm really glad that I did that. And if I have to do it a few times, I think it'll be okay, because I want to say all of this, except for some of the Krynic that, like the Krynic in the belt, is DMC, and that does pretty good in not being able to wash out. And there was no bleeding that I noticed, even with the red. So I was really happy with that. We will continue with this. But she is done! I'm so excited! So Ashley May with Make It Pink, she has a Facebook support group, and I definitely posted it in that group, being like, I am officially done. And it always likes to fire me when I get to be done with her, or with any of the progress I do with the sailors, because then I just want to work on the next one, and the next one. And isn't that what happens with all the projects that we have? Okay, those are my 2 finishes. Now we can go into the whips, which are a lot. And I would say the majority of the whips I did based off of Project Runway. So when I last chatted with you, there was one project that still needed work, and it's the Nevermore Hat. So I have to put the stitches in, like technically based on the program, but it's more of the requirement for that program. I am not having a great time with stitching Nevermore Hat, and I'll explain in a bit. So I said, you know what? That's the only one that I still have some stitches to do. Otherwise, I met everything from that episode. So I moved on to the next one, and that was episode 5. And I finished the episode, I put in what the projects were, and I completed episode 5 in like a week. So for episode 5, the winner was landscape. And that was one of the focus pieces for last month. So I actually got to put more work in her, and you get to see some more progress. So I will post a picture over here on the side. I got to get a close-up of the image. And this was a kit that my mom gifted me. And it is a stamped kit of that landscape. And I will show it to you from out here. And then I'll get up close. So this is the area. This is the kit. And I mainly worked up here in this corner. You can kind of see that I did a decent amount. I think last time we chatted and I mentioned that this was going to be my time with the confetti to figure out what kind of stitcher I was going to be with confetti. And I have not been able to break, I haven't been able to break color completion or thread completion. I think it has to be thread completion, because I love taking a thread with the particular color and just finishing off. And that's what I did. So if I get close, this was the corner that I got. And my goal was to get like these 3 done. So essentially it's like 2.5 blocks of stitching. But because it was so confetti, I got these 3 and then I just went as far down or as far, for me, my right, as far left as I could. So those are the areas that I got. Now for this one I needed 700 stitches, so I officially got that. I think I got like 703. I also put in a little sprinkles around here. Worked a little bit up here in the water where the boat is. And then to get a better picture, if you look on the other side, so this is the back, right? This is the process. So this is where I was the majority of the time. And you can see from some of those threads, like, I had to carry. And thank God this thing's stamped, because otherwise I would have miscounted way early on in the game. And so it looks like a constellation. It's like a constellation of stars, but in color. So that's what I did. Look at that. That's funky. But yeah, so that was my 700 stitches. This project is still in the game. Like I said, it won that episode. So you'll likely see it a few more times. And then the next one I go to is the eliminated project for that episode. Oops, excuse me. And that was Shake Senora. Which, this project bag, and I think I said it last time, but there is something about this bag with these two projects, because this one holds Shake Senora and Beauty and the Beast by Autumn Lane Stitchery. I don't know what it is about these two, but it's like my go-to if I just want to do some stitching at the office, or I don't know, some feel-good stitching. I'm not hating it. But here we go. So this is Shake Senora. Let me just hide the needle. This is patterned by Ars Ornika, and it is on hand-dyed by Rolanda fabric linen called Raven, and it's a 32 count. And I've got plenty of threads running around here. So this is what it looks like overall. And I'll get up close. This one needed at least 500 stitches. And I think I put in like 501. So I was really happy because I essentially got to work in expanding the window. And then I got to continue working up with the light that is around Lydia. And all that black that's on the bottom part of her skirt is now filled in. So that's actually filled in with 310. And I just got to work up her body and fill in the more of the light. So I am almost there. I still haven't gotten to her face or her hands with her arms up, but slowly we're getting there. So, got to work on her, got to get my 500 stitches. Here it says I got 501. That was all we needed. So I got to work on that one. And then with Project Runway, there's winner, the one that gets eliminated. And then in general, with this category, this was the last one, and then the next episode got different. They usually do a top 3 and a bottom 3. From the top 3, I just choose one to be able to put in 550 stitches. And then in the bottom 3 of the 2 that were left, I get to choose one, and I put 275 stitches. So for the top 3 project, I chose Beauty and the Beast. And that one just needed 550 stitches. And I put in way more than that. I put in, it says 711. So I got really excited. This one is on an Oak Crown Studio fabric called Mystery. And this is what it looks like all together. And I got to work further on the dragon. So if I just show you kind of everything that works. And I've just been working, I worked on this big chunk here. Got to put in those fins, put in those colors. And we are so close to the head. Definitely, I'd say the head is still a couple thousand stitches, but oh, so close. And then it will have to be working down through the spiral of the serpent's body, the mermaid's tail. We still got a lot of work, but I'm so happy that we're almost done with the top part. It feels so good. And so we are trucking along. Got to get those numbers in. And then the project that I chose for the bottom was Vampyrum Sal by Noctiflora. And Vampyrum Sal is also now one of the focus pieces for February. So it worked out, and I have been putting a lot of focus on this project. Not just for Project Runway, but just in general. This has been my office stitch for the last week. And it's also, I mean, it almost feels like a February stitch. I know that February is supposed to be romance and stuff. I kind of equate vampires with that. So this is what my progress looks like, threads and all. And I am almost done with part 4. So I'll just show everything. And then I'll show where I worked. So I got this wing down here done. So that one's officially done now. And then since you last saw me, under the pink-lipped bat, I put in that upside down cross, and today I've been putting in that purple rose. So for part 4 to be finished, I have to complete the magenta lipped bat. And right, I definitely still have a whole wing that's missing, but I almost have one of the wings done, so I just have to finish her. Oh, there you go. Finish her with the wings, and then we'll keep moving down. I just it felt really good that oh, and I put the stake in. That's right by the bat. It just felt really good putting some of those small motifs in, and then that way I can definitely focus on her, on the wings, and know that I'm going to get part 4 done. But that is it. I had this like crazy idea of trying to finish this project by the end of the month. Don't think that's going to happen. Like I said before in the beginning, that I started 2 projects, and I'm kind of in that starting fever. So I'm still focusing on these projects though, and I've been liking it a lot that I get to just dedicate some time. It doesn't have to be consecutive. I like to be consecutive. So I just put in the time on a project, feel like I get good progress, and then I know that I did the most that I could for that project at that time. So with that one, I finished that episode, and I got so happy. I worked a bit on the Nevermore Hat, still not at that episode's goal, but we're getting there. And then from there, we watched episode 6. I think after that I have 3 more episodes, and then I'll be done with the season and done with the game. From there, so the new projects that I got to work on until I get to the next episode. The winner was Sugar Glider. And this is the second time Sugar Glider wins. This is a project that I've got here. This one is by Cottage Garden Samplings. The cute Sugar Glider. And this one has actually been my nighttime stitch for the last few days. So I'm almost at my goal of 700. I think I just need like a little less than 300 stitches. And that's been like pretty good to do at nighttime. So this is my progress on it. Try to show all of it here. And then if I get close, this is essentially I am on the bottom. I'm at the bottom feet of the Sugar Glider, and I'm working on that tree branch. So it's already to the bottom. So this is the bottom of the whole project. My goal has been to just fill in that tree branch, and then I'm working on the leaves, and I've started working on the body of the Sugar Glider. I do want to start working on its tail, but I like the idea of branch, leaves, and then we'll go with the tail. But yeah, so far it's looking good. I love the cute little feet. Here we go. I don't know what fabric this is. I want to say it's a 28 count. And it's a linen. Though it looks a little too even. So I think it's potentially a Lugana. But I can't say from who it's from. But that one I still need to put, like I said, about 300 stitches in. And then I'll meet that goal. The one that got eliminated, and I'll put a picture of it, is Witchcraft. I haven't worked on Witchcraft in a few months. So that one is going to need 500 stitches. I will definitely be doing that in the next week. And we get to see the progress on that one. And then from there, this is where, because there are now not so many projects involved in the competition, it went to top 2 and bottom 2. Right? And then from the top 2 came the winner, and then the one left over. And same thing, bottom 2, the one that got eliminated, and the one left over. So the other top contestant was Vampyrum Cell, which we just saw. And that one I have to put in 550 stitches. that is going to be easy because I have been working on that like crazy. So I think I have probably another like 200 to put in that. I will reach that goal. And then the bottom one, which I was like, okay, is Nevermore Hat. So the Nevermore Hat is me stitching on a beanie, so like a beanie hat, and using the banner that is on the bottom of the Edgar Allan poetry that Tiny Modernist did. So in the bottom it says Nevermore with a couple of ravens, and I'm just wanting to stitch that banner on this beanie. And I had a faux pas in my bag because I brought it at work one day where like some water got into the vicinity, and it definitely crinkled the water soluble material. But I will just show you. I have it in here because I wanted it to be a little stretchy. Like if I just stitched on it when it was calm, the person's gonna want to stretch it out anyway when they're wearing it. So I wanted it a little bit stretched out, so it didn't bunch up too much, but also didn't completely like stretch and potentially break threads. So I'll just get up really close. And this is the bottom part of the banner. So I already got this whole bottom swirlies. Those are all done. Now this line is me working on the actual banner. I should still have room, but granted, look at that. Look at that faux pas. So I'm going to have to be creative when it gets to that point. We'll see. At this point, I'm playing chicken. We'll see how far I get with that. Otherwise, we will continue. So this one, for being in the bottom, it will need 275 stitches. For me to just stitch the banner, it will be, it was totaling like about 1900. So like 1900, which isn't a lot, but it is a lot on this because I have to like get my hand under here, and I have to do essentially one-handed stitching. I can't do two-handed stitching. Like, it is just finicky. It doesn't feel the greatest. 100 stitches to get in this feels like a lot. I feel like I've done 100 and I've only done 50. So I am slowly trekking on that, and we will slowly get to finish that up. I probably will like make myself put in the stitches that are required before I go to the next episode, just so that way I have it done by the time that I need to give it to the person. Because I should have given it to the person like about a month ago, and that needs to happen sooner rather than later. So that's going to be the project that I'm just really pushing myself through. Okay. For February, the dedicated projects that I've got were both Vampyrum Sal and also Cinderella. I've actually got that one around here. So you get to see at what position it is now, but I haven't put any work in it yet. I don't know when I will. I'm hoping it'll be this like second half of the month. That would be nice. And it is on an opalescent raw linen. Such a big fabric. And that is the amount that I got done. So it'll be nice to get a lot more progress on it. But those were the two focus pieces I had. Vampyrum Sal and Cinderella. The BAP for the month is Festive Fervor. I'll put a picture here. The Fancy Lady is White Christmas, which is a Mirabilia, and that is one of my starts. So we can do that, and then I'll jump back to whips because I believe there's one more that I did a little bit of work on, but it's still something. But the start that I did was White Christmas by Mirabilia. I did like some copying of the chart, and so I just printed out the sheet as well. Super pretty. And then I am doing it on a blue fabric from Oak Crown Studios called Indigo. It is going to be interesting because Indigo was part of like Amy's natural line where she dyed the fabric like truly with indigo, like with natural plants. She didn't use synthetics. So it looks super nice. I wanted it to look like a blue so that it looked kind of snowy outside for the picture. But because it's natural dyes, this is my first time having the experience where with prolonged folding of the fabric, at the creases, the dye is lighter. Like it gets, the friction kind of rubs it off. So when I noticed that, to pick in the fabric, I immediately ironed it. And after ironing it, it looks okay. I think it'll look fine at the end because it's going to be like an outside scene. And I think a lot of the lines will be covered up with the pattern anyway. But I'll show it here so you guys can see what it looks like. So this is, if I'm pointing correctly, yep. So this is the fabric. And you can probably already see the creasing vertically and horizontally on the main parts. The other folds weren't too bad. But those are the ones, and I usually am a center starter with Mirabilia. So I started right in the middle. It's kind of where her dress is. It is still a super nice looking fabric. It is so soft, like I love it. But, right, so some of the creasing, I think, like I said, I think it'll be okay. I still want to use it. So we will see how it goes. So I got to do some of that. And that's my thing. I want to automatically fold it. So when I ironed it, then I said, okay, I can't fold this project. I have to let it like be flat. I have to let it be flat somewhere. So that's what I'm doing. And then the chatelaine of the month is going to be, it was supposed to be Deep Blue Mandala, which I haven't started. It was going to be a start, but I really wanted to start one of the summer fruits because they were some that were going to be kind of focus pieces at the Chatelaine retreat in July, and I am going to that retreat. So if I see you guys there, you can come and say hi. But I really want to get started on one, and so I put the cherry summer fruit up on Pattern Keeper. It did a decent job with it, and I went to my LNS over the weekend on Saturday. And I bought some fabric, and I like to look in her scrap section to just see what is there. And I immediately got drawn to this fabric, and I will show you why I'm laughing. But it is such a cute, like, pastel-y pale mix of some pinks and blues. And I was like, ooh, this is really cute. And then I look at the name, and it's Frise by Atomic Ranch. And the reason I go like that is because Frise is what I'm stitching Baroque Gardens by Chatelaine on as well. And I'm just like, well, obviously I am drawn to this color palette. And this is the one that I want to do for the summer fruit. I measured it out, and I can actually get 2 pieces, like 2 summer fruits, comfortably stitched on with margins on this fat 1/8. Likely, I will be going back to the Crafty Grimalkin and getting another fat 1/8 of Frise to get the other 2 done. But we'll start with cherry and see where I go. So my goal, I haven't started it yet, but my goal would be to try on Friday to start cherry. No, not Friday. Today's Wednesday. I don't think I'll have time today, but if I can, because it's Chatelaine Wednesday, I will try to start cherry. And we'll see where it goes. Like I said, it honestly doesn't look that big. There are a lot, I mean, like with any of them, there's a lot of specialty stitches, there's cross stitches, but it wasn't too bad. So I think measurement wise, it's like 4x4, the pattern itself. So yeah, I don't think it's going to be that big. It's just a matter of doing it, right? Doing it and seeing if I can get it done by July. So I'm going to try to start it. And if I don't start it, today, I definitely want to start it over the weekend. So that'll be a new start that you guys will see next time. And it'll be on the super cute fabric. I think I'm going to do, well, I don't know. I may do it on the pinker side. I may do cherry on the pinker side. And then I was either going to do pear or pineapple on the other one. Again, we'll see. I have the beads, so that part is taken care of. It's just starting to stitch. I'd have to see, that's the other part. I have to see if I have any of the specialty threads. So we'll see if I have those or if I have to order them. But yeah, that is the Chatelaine for this month. Okay. Those were the monthly goals and plans. Jumping back to WIP, the other one that I got to put a few stitches on was You Belong to Me by Lawn Dog Sampler. And this is their Egyptian sampler. So I will make it bigger. Woo. And that is where our needle is. And I found the other one. I knew there were 2 needles here. Okay. Hopefully. Oh, and I know that there's a needle I know hiding in my couch somewhere. I will find it, or it will find me. That's what we'll do. Okay, this is what it looks like. Oh my god, look at that fabric. So nice. And I got to do a little bit of work over here by that flamingo. So right where all this section is with the different spots, that's where I worked. That's it. That is the body of a rabbit. So if I continue working in that spot, there should be a rabbit ears popping up soon. Well, that's what I got. But otherwise, yeah, I'm really happy with it. I think it's gonna need an ironing at some point. Wait. And this is one where, like, with folding and stuff, I haven't noticed, like, first time ever that I noticed any of the creasing being an issue was with, yeah, it was with that fabric. Okay. Now those are all my whips. And then the last start that I did was Ice Cream Rainbow by Una Buena Pieza. And I have a few of her charts. I think they're all super cute, but this is my first official one by her. And I started in the corner. This is on a white opalescent fabric. This is a whole piece. I want to say it's a fat eighth. Yep, it's a fat eighth. But it fits on half of the fat eighth, so I will do it like this. And these are the corner ice creams that I got in. So I have officially done these 2, and I just got to start putting colors in for those. Definitely, like, I had to be careful that I didn't travel too much so that it doesn't show up on the back, but it is so cute and sparkly. And it's just so happy with all the colors. So I'm really excited to see how this turns out. Yep, that is Ice Cream Rainbow. Okay. Now those are all the projects I've worked on. Let's see. A little bit of haul. Like I said, I went to my LNS and I got some perforated paper to try to work on. This is, I don't know if it gives me a count. 14 count. Yep. I want to say, is this 14 count? Yep, 14 count white. I got these 2 from Lakeside Stitches. They are a Belfast linen white and a Cashel linen white. I don't know. I will learn the difference, but that's these 2. And then I like a good neutral. I thought I had an idea for this fabric, but it completely left my mind. This is Sandcastle by Fox and Rabbit. It's just a nice light beige. I cannot talk today. Yeah, it's a fat quarter. And then something I also really wanted to start, it may be at the end of the month, like I said, I've been in a starting mood, is South American Angel by Barbara Baatz. So this one is like, I just got motivated. Yes, like I saw the Super Bowl, I saw the halftime show. Like for me, the halftime show was just, it was just so good. Like as a Hispanic person, I have never felt more seen than that show. Especially if you've been seeing in social media or like the reactions and stuff, one of the biggest parts, and it seems so little, but it is when Bad Bunny went to the chairs to wake up that little kid in the middle of the wedding party. Like that is quintessential childhood of what it is to be in a Latin culture. You were either on the chairs, under the chairs, under the table. You were somewhere sleeping because, my God, you just couldn't go. You just couldn't go. The adults could go, but you had to stay there until the party was over, and my God, you were tired. So those were the things that just felt so good, and I was just, right, it's a crazy time out there right now. I normally like to just stick to the things that I like. I like feeling nostalgic. I like feeling like watching things that are humorous, and I can be a romantic and just kind of like a lot of escapism, which is kind of what millennials do. Granted, with my field of work, like I know that there's a reality and there are definitely hardships that happen with people in the community. But as much as I try to get away from the media still comes, and it's a bit scary. Right, I've felt it in different ways, but I've been feeling it. And so seeing his show, like, just really made me feel happy, made me feel proud, and just kind of woke me up a little of, like, no, if I really want to feel this way, if I really want to feel proud and accepted, but also help other people feel proud and accepted, just like love everyone, then I have to do something about it, right? I can't just be a bystander. I can't just stay quiet all the time. Granted, I don't have a lot of power, whether at work, whether here, like I am just a person, but I can do the best that I can as me. And so one of the things that I just felt was, I want to stitch this project. I found her at the Stitching Kitten out in South Carolina when I went to the Queen City Stitch Retreat in October. And I knew that I was likely going to modify some of the colors that were in it to fit more Costa Rican culture. But otherwise, everything else is pretty accurate to what a traditional outfit would be for a Hispanic person. So I just said, you know what, this feels like a time where I need to start it. And so I plan to start it. I'm gonna do it on, I would say, a bold fabric. I was a little nervous about it, but I'm like, you know what, let's do it. I've been loving this fabric, and I finally got it without a project in mind. This is the project in mind. So it is Summer Soiree by Fiberlicious Yummy Fibers. It is this like beautiful pastel beige pink with spots of green. And I loved it. I've loved it since it came out. I want to stitch her on it. It is a 32 count linen. And so we're going to do it. Like I said, and maybe it'll be at the end of this month. Maybe it'll be next month. But it'll happen. So those are my plans. So potentially next time you will get to see a new Chatelaine and a new Barbara Baatz. All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out. We are like almost at 40 minutes. Like I said, this was going to be a long one, but I had so many things that I got to work on. So hope you guys enjoyed it. Please stay safe, stay warm, and happy Valentine's Day, because it's coming up on Saturday. So if you have a partner, or if you have some gals to go galentining, or if you're just gonna go single. That's probably what I'm gonna do. Boyfriend's still in Ohio, and so but I still like to go out. So probably I'll go to like a bar or a restaurant and just buy myself a drink, buy myself dinner, and have a good time. So I hope you guys do too, and I'll see you at the end of the month.